you've just been hired and you're looking at your watch like, what's going on? 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. Days and days go by, and you are just seeing until one day you are finally booked for a class. Oh, yeah! Yeah! What's ours? Bang, 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 bang. High five! Good job and congratulations. Keep watching to hear all the tips and tricks that I have for you and suggestions and advice for getting through your first booked class with VIPKID. You're watching Booked Up. Rocking it, you're ready to go. So you click on the info and what do you see? It's a trial. How do I know it's a trial? You'll know that it's a trial class because the code name for the class starts with a T and it'll have arbitrary letters and numbers that follow after it. What should you do next? The next step would be to go into either your app or your teacher portal and access the actual classroom or the booking if you're using the app to get more information. In the teacher portal, you can access all of the personality tags that the student has, any comments that the parent has made about the child, like their age, what grade they're in, if they've ever had experience with online teaching, previous teacher comments that are available. Because even if you are teaching a trial student, each student prior to signing up and paying for VIPKID is allowed 3 trials. So if that child has already taken a trial with another teacher, that teacher has more than likely left feedback in order to get full pay. But it's true though. And the teacher has probably left feedback that you can access. Maybe they figured out a reward system that the student likes. Maybe they know how the child's personality is, what they struggle with, as well as what level and unit they already taught the child. So if the child does take a trial class more than one time, they'll be getting the same lesson each time. And you'll be expected to teach that same one if you're the second or third trial class that they're taking. Also, one of the most important things that you will find in the app or in the portal is what time you're going to teach the class. Your time slot will turn green and it'll say booked as well as the student's name. The time will be available for you in your time zone as well as what time it is in Beijing. One more big thing that you need to make sure that you consider is to click on the info button in the classroom that's actually on the teacher portal, that's in the platform that you're going to use to actually teach. There is a section about the computer placement test or the CPT. This is what the student goes in to the VIPKID website and they take a test that assesses their English knowledge and ability prior to taking any trial courses. That is where you will start off teaching the student. If there is no computer placement test, the system will still recommend a starting point for the student. If not, you can start off at level 2, unit 1 or level 2, unit 4 and adjust up and down from there. If there is one thing that I learned from booking my first trial class, it is check your tech. My very first class, although it wasn't a trial, it was a master class unit assessment, I didn't check my technology prior to going into the actual start time of the class. So I thought since, all of my technology had worked just perfectly throughout my interview process, there was nothing to fear. I was using Wi-Fi on my MacBook Pro. I had a headset and microphone all in one, and everything was set. I had an external mouse and everything. I get to class, and I cannot connect through the internet. My Wi-Fi is still fast. Everything is working there, but I need to be hardwired. Well, if you know anything about the newer generation MacBook Pros, they don't have an Ethernet port. So I needed a Thunderbolt to Ethernet in order to be hardwired. Ended up being a teacher IT. So wah wah. Yeah, it was kind of sad. So make sure that everything is in working order in the actual classroom so that when start time rolls around, you aren't left in the lurch. Would be, how do you actually upload all of those PowerPoints in the middle of the trial? Click on Docs, click on Uploaded by Myself, and there should be 2 pages worth of PowerPoints that you can access. And at the end of each name of the PowerPoint, it will say Level 2 Unit 1, Level 2 Unit 4, but they aren't necessarily in order. So try to get familiar with what you're going to see on the first page and the second page in case you have to switch the PowerPoints in the middle of the trial because the student is either too low currently and needs to be moved up a level, or if they're too high of a level and need to be moved down a level in order for you to gauge what their actual English ability is currently. One little known fact that many teachers do not employ while they're teaching in the classroom is the FAQ button up at the top of the page. If you click on the FAQ button, you can then click on Chinese phrases, and that has a list of frequently used phrases in English and in Chinese that you can copy and paste to the student or to the parent in the middle of class so that you can better communicate with them if there are sound issues, video issues, or anything like that. It's helped me more than once. Hopefully it'll help you too. Let's get into some tips. Tips, and suggestions. A trial is all about selling VIPKID to the student and to the parent. Make it fun. Break out all the props, break out all the realia, break out the puppets, the bubbles, everything that you can to engage that child. Sell VIPKID. Now, you will sell the company by getting the child to laugh and to speak in English. That will sell the child. But you also have to sell the parent because the child is not going to pay for this program by themselves. It's the parent that needs to see that the program works. So make sure that you are correcting the pronunciation that the student uses, that you are making sure that they are speaking in English and using complete sentences so that the parent sees exactly what they're going to be getting out of the VIPKID platform versus a different company that they go through. Fun, engaging, educational. What more could you want? That's what every parent wants when they spend their money for their child to learn something new. Another tip is to not worry about finishing the entire lesson during a trial. Have fun. Do not worry about hitting every single slide. Get through as much as you can. Don't slow around and dilly-dally and delay and all of that stuff on a slide just because you don't want to teach the next slide. Don't do that. But if a student is struggling with something, make sure that you correct them. Don't frustrate them, but correct them and help them to get the most out of that trial as you can. Many trial classes end up being no-shows, so be sure to check into your portal and into your app to see if it's already marked finished no-show. If you have already gone into the classroom, make sure that you stay for the 15 minutes as is required by your contract with VIPKID to wait to see if the student does show up for that trial class. If you have not already logged into the classroom, maybe it's half an hour before, and you're scrolling through your app, looking at your booking and getting prepared and everything, but it's already marked finished and it says student no-show, that means that the child has canceled. They've already contacted the company and said that they will not be able to make it to that specific time slot for the trial. You do not have to log into the classroom at that time. Because the class has already been canceled. The firemen recognize it. You do not have to contact anybody. You're good to go. So I hope this video was helpful for you in providing tips on your first book class that happens to be a trial class. Leave a comment or let me know through email if you want me to make another video on the trial class feedback that you should be leaving to try to help that parent and that student to come back to VIP Kid and go ahead and sign up after they have the trial class with you. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Just let me know what you'd like to see, and continue to look out for part 2, which is on a master class, your first master class. All right, well, that's it. Goodbye. See you again. And we are out of here. Wow.